The Neo QLED TVs are going to be changing in 2025, and in this video I'm going to tell you all about how they're changing. First, let's start with the Neo QLED 4K lineup, and the first thing that I saw with this lineup is going to be the addition of a brand new entry-level Neo QLED TV. This is the QN90F. What's unique about this TV is that it's going to be the first Neo QLED TV that's going to be an edge-lit based TV. But what's also interesting is that Samsung says this is an edge-lit based mini LED TV. Speaking of which, this brings us to the Frame Pro, which also now is, you guessed it, going to be a Neo QLED TV. The thing is, it is going to be using the same exact backlight technology as the QN90F. So it's a very similar TV to that. The difference is it's going to have the frame look to it, and it's also going to have a wireless One Connect box, which is another new thing that Samsung is introducing this year with their 2025 lineup for certain TVs. All right, so moving past the Frame Pro, the next one is going to be the QN80F. What's interesting is that Samsung didn't announce a QN85F yet, so I don't know if that's going to come or if this is just going to straight up replace the QN85F. What's interesting is they say that the QN90F is significantly better than the QN80F, where in the past, I thought the QN85 and the QN90 series was pretty close together, and the only difference was going to be a little bit more brightness and more dimming zones. But this year, it seems like you are getting significantly more dimming zones and significantly more brightness with the QN90F. So there's going to be maybe a bigger gap in between these two models than there was in the past, and maybe that is now by design, since they do want you to feel like if you're going to spend a little bit more money, you get an upgrade. Hopefully the price reflects that in the QN80F and it ends up being cheaper than what we've seen from the QN85 series, but I'm not really sure on the details on the price or even if there's going to be a QN85F, so really that part is all speculation. This is, however, going to be a step up from the QN70F that I just talked about and the Frame Pro, and it will not be using edge-lit technology for the mini LED, with the caveat being that it's going to have less dimming zones and less brightness than the next one we're talking about here, the QN90F. Now the QN90F is going to be pretty unique this year because, well, it's carrying over something from the S95D last year, and that is the glare-free design. I got to see this in person, and I didn't think it looked too bad with the Neo QLED TVs in mind. I didn't mind it on the S95D as well, but again, it's going to really depend on the person that you are. It is improved for 2025, and Samsung really considers this to be an upgrade over what they had in the past. Now, it'll be really interesting to see how people take to this, if they're going to like it. I mean, it does really fit the Neo QLEDs because they are going to be placed in a room that maybe reflections could be a problem. So having that glare-free design, I would imagine this helps most people rather than hurts most people. And I can't forget to mention, this is also going to be available in 115 inches. And I actually got to see this firsthand at CES 2025. This giant TV is definitely a sight to behold. Another big change with the QN90F is that this year you're going to have a new improved processor, the NQ4 AI Gen 3 processor. Along with that processor, you're going to have 165 Hz VRR gaming support, and this is at 4K resolution. All right, now let's go over the 8K lineup real quick. And also, you might want to know that there's going to probably be another 4K TV that ends up being better than all the TVs I just talked about and better than the ones I'm just about to talk about. I'll give you more information on that in just a second, but let's go over this 8K lineup. So this year, not only is there going to be a QN900 series, but there's also going to be a QN990 series. The QN900F is going to have the glare-free technology that I just talked about with the QN90F, and it's also going to have a One Connect box, but this one is not going to be the wireless One Connect box. It's going to just be the traditional One Connect box that you're used to having with these 8K TVs. And the design of the QN900F is going to be different than it was in the past. This one has more of a metal frame-like design. It actually feels like it fits in the frame lineup. It's also worth noting that the NQ8 AI Gen 2 processor is carrying over to this year's model, and we're going to see that if you want the upgrade to this, you're going to have to get the QN990F, which is what I'm going to talk about right now. The QN990F is going to have the wireless One Connect box. So if you want that wireless One Connect box with your 8K TV, your only choice is going to be the QN990F. With the QN990F, you do get the Infinity Air design that was on the QN900F. So the flagship this year is the QN990F for sure. Also unique to the QN990D is the 8K 165Hz VRR gaming support if you have a capable PC. Also worth noting, the QN990F is going to have that glare-free design just like the QN900F will have. Now you might be thinking the QN990F certainly should be the flagship TV for 2025 from Samsung. But that might not be the case, as we did get details on a TV that might be coming in 2025. And I found that TV so interesting that I wanted to make a whole video about it. So you can watch that video right here if you want to continue watching this video. Thank you everybody for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next one.